Hello and welcome to Nutshell Recaps. This video explains the synopsis of the movie, Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. Warning, there will be spoilers, so proceed with caution. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button, it will really help our channel grow. Godzilla and Kong put aside their animosity and work together to take down Scar King and the most powerful frozen monster. Keep an eye on how they will overcome these obstacles. Kong's thrilling battle with the thirsty hound of Titans opens the film, but his one mighty punch tears the ribs out of his body. He also tears the place to shreds, obstructing their path to the valiant Kong. He tears their colleagues into two, shattering their courage, and stomps all over the place with a big block of wood. The lifeless Titan splits in two, and Kong lets its blood drip all over its body to foreshadow its terrible demise. Their blood shivers from this amazing move, and they flee after mopping up the Titan's disgusting blood. Kong ate his food next to a split. He is going to eat a big supper, but the pain in his teeth prevents it. Furthermore, he is powerless to stop it, diminishing the strength of the wolf's defense. As a result, he is powerless to stop the crocodile from stealing the dead bodies. He's also mocked by a little frog, but he ignores it. Dr. Andrews divulges information of Godzilla and Kong's domains in the interim. She is also researching other Titans and the Hollow Earth. Kong is thought to be the family's lone survivor, and a wall of despair always hinders his search. She goes on to say that because Godzilla battles those terrible creatures, mankind are unable to defend themselves. Similarly, Rome and Italy are home to an enigmatic species that resembles a spider. Massive human destruction occurs, but Godzilla quickly seizes the initiative. He rides on the creature after giving it a severe beating, locking its tentacles. There is nothing that can resist Godzilla's magnetic onslaught, despite the monster's continued attempts to win by spinning its small fragment against his face. Godzilla's veins are tormented by the electric atomic lasers shooting from its mouth, which also shatter the monster's body into fragments. The city is safe as the splashes all over it. Dr. Andrews and the Monarch team saw strong velocity spikes in the radiators and some jolts in the Godzilla area. The crew is unaware of this, and it has never been recorded before. At her special education school, Dr. Andrews' adopted daughter nods off throughout class. She begins to see visions because she is not just any ordinary child, but a blessed one. She draws several pictures on the paper after laying the graphite down. She quickly learns that the drawings correspond with the spikes acquired from the radiators after her teacher calls Andrews to discuss the pictures and places the blame on her for being irresponsible. Furthermore, Gia is the last surviving member of the Iwi Tribe, so perhaps her drawings and visions foretell some extraordinary events. After more research, it is discovered that the Iwi Tribe was entirely wiped by a powerful storm, with only a small child surviving. The doctor came to her aid. Gia exhibits her worry about encountering Kong in the deep earth and begins to have unsettling images once more. Dr. Andrews considers taking her there because she keeps seeing some strange things happening in her visions. When Dr. Andrews sees his old buddy Bernie, he offers to help by showing him the sketches. But he's happy to see her again because he was Andrew Andrews' former coworker. He tells us that it appears that people, not Titans, are sending out the messages. The pictures also indicate the same thing. But she needs to figure out how to assist her daughter in order to understand how humans enter the Hollow Earth and produce these signs. She receives an instant alert about Godzilla's whereabouts. After a year of slumber, he wakes up and begins to move around. Kong also approaches the monarchs and collapses in agony. Gia sees his suffering and confesses her toothache to get his help. He was given sedatives by an unusual veteran who then used a chopper to drop him off with a trapper. He extracts the problematic tooth and puts in a replacement one. He makes an attempt to flirt with Dr. Andrews as well, but she is more adept at comebacks. She also expresses worry about her daughter's strange nightmares, but the veteran is upbeat about her as she has a wonderful mother at her side. Kong feels the discomfort as soon as he wakes up. Kong converses with Gia in sign language, demonstrating their mutual understanding. Bernie contacts Andrews to let him know about the spikes. According to his prediction, the variance indicates that there is a call for assistance from the Hollow Earth. Dr. Andrews makes the quick decision to assemble a group of specialists in order to identify the origin. She agrees to go with them when Gia also insists on going, and 5 individuals fly into the Earth's hole. Following a persuasive consultation with Dr. Andrews, Bernie also joined. They tumble into the diving hole where Kong and Hollow Earth first emerge when Kong joins in. It's a radiation box full of excitement and novel experiences. They experience intense shocks before the flying machine arrives and takes them on a roller coaster ride. They nearly lose their minds before they arrive at the land. Several glittering vertices greet them with their melodic roars as soon as they enter the zone. Until you do them no damage, they are absolutely harmless. However, Godzilla has made landfall in France and is generating extremely high levels of bioelectric radiation. He fuels the Earth for more by magnifying the area with hidden sparks up to the sky. At the same time, monarchs launch thousands of simultaneous explosions and some radioactive missiles. He charges himself for an unidentified reason by absorbing the energy that is being emitted. They arrive at the demolished monarchy headquarters. The smoke-filled flames reach the sky, and the extent of human suffering is unimaginable. Additionally, they discover a massive paw that doesn't resemble Kong on the surrounding wall. This indicates that there is yet more danger in store for them. Kong discovers the axe as he enters his cave in the interim. He also observes a unique, shining opening that forces him to intervene with his gleaming axe of assistance. A tiny monkey leaving the murky land is an entity. He bites his finger and receives a loud thrash when Kong tries to make friends with him. When his elders discover Kong at this location, they assault him with all of their mighty powers, but Kong defeats them with strong stomps and twisting thrashes. Additionally, he tries to stop one from falling, but when he gets his retribution, he purposefully pushes the man down the slope. When no one pays attention to his helpful hand, he also employs the baby monkey to splash them all. Kong threatens to take the baby monkey to his elders while he is still hiding. Dr. Andrews orders the ship to descend after receiving signals from a dungeon located far below the surface. Jet is interested in what's inside, so she also wants that. The landing goes smoothly, but when the pilot is swallowed by a fleshy plant, the bizarre terrain terrifies them to no end. They flee in an attempt to save themselves and soothe the terrified Bernie. Others are driven to uncover the mysteries, but he doesn't want to be food for some random plant. Monarchs are still following Godzilla's ridiculous motions, but they are unable to make sense of it. But it's quite obvious that he's submerging himself in the water to battle a mega-titan, possibly the sparkling water titan. Gia discovers, to her surprise, a human civilization concealed beneath. Through writings on a wall, they discover that this location predates their ancestry by a great deal. On a wall, they discover the Mother of Titans mark as well. Additionally, it is capable of holding multiple secrets, so Gia uses a shining bug as a suggestion to help her figure out the possibilities. She opens a portal to a different, enigmatic location shielded by a translucent barrier. When they poke a hole, their eyes are blinded by a brilliant, dazzling light. They step into a beautiful, heavenly realm. Kong, in the meantime, is pursuing the young monkey in an attempt to discover what interests him, but this cheeky companion is trying to trick him into entering yet another vast titan's domain. The monster is a sharp-skinned, snake-like aquatic creature that tries to strangle Kong before the valiant Kong splatters it all to bits and scares the small monkey away so that this time the correct path would be guided. Additionally, he gives the young monkey chunks of the water titan, softening Kong's heart and allowing him to approach without fear. Godzilla has infiltrated the domain of a second glittering titan and is luring it to engage in combat. Because Godzilla's charging force is so great, it is not difficult for him to defeat the titan. With great force, he frees him from his body and uses his mouth to release the extremely powerful atomic radiation. The monster is divided into fragments by the onslaught. The monarchs attempt to steady their sub, which is pulsating from his attack, shocked by the strength he possesses. Conversely, a group of forest people surround Andrews and the others. They kidnapped them and took them to their ancient civilizations and gemstone-carved location. To avoid being misinterpreted, they make an effort to keep eye contact, but the queen quickly learns to read Gia's hands. After learning that Gia is one of them and that she connects with them, they have begun contacting Gia. The queen then leads them into a dimly lit room that is illuminated by a shimmering liquid. The ruins of ancient human civilizations may be found behind the walls, which date back many thousand years. They show that apes were in charge of defending humanity while the surface and hollow earth coexisted in harmony. However, one day a massive, enraged ape named the Scar King declares a war between the worlds to take control of the surface world, where he still rules over all other apes. Kong also makes it to the place where his imposter buddies toil away. All of them are subject to the Scar King's authority and must do what he says. In addition, Kong wins the respect of the bullies by rescuing an elderly ape from him. A bony weapon hangs around the neck of the Scar King, the genuine authority that still holds sway over this area and goes about in his distinctive gait. He kills the father monkey as retribution for the adult male entering their domain. In order to heighten the tension during the battle, he also makes fun of Kong's prosthetic teeth and incites fury. In an attempt to mock Kong, he swirls down his weapon, but Kong stops it with his bare palm. Despite having a sharp blade attached, Kong's palm gets injured by the weapon. They commence a frigid spinning combat in which they both choke the other's throats. Kong engages in equal combat with the king's adherents and the magma layer ignitions. The Wound King presents his pet Shimo after concluding that Kong is capable. The wound, the only reason King can introduce him, is that the magical stone is inside his weapon. Shimo will obey him as long as the stone remains carved in his weapons. The monster is bound with chains and has skin covered with glitter. Even though Shimo is incredibly strong, Kong tries to retaliate with his axe. He uses it to stop the harmful rays, but he can't hold onto it for very long before hurting his hand. The infant monkey gestures towards a cave where they can escape after realizing Kong is growing weaker. Kong's axe has now been taken by the Scar King. The Scar King spectators are pursuing Kong, but the infant monkey gets in the middle. He assists Kong in getting away as they gather beneath the stones, but a bystander continues to stroll behind them and stare. The same text that Dr. Andrews reads on the walls also tell that Godzilla is getting ready to battle Scar King and Shimo since he is aware that his power is insufficient to overcome the world's ancient titan Shimo. Since Shimo is the Scar King's pet and the most powerful titan in the world today, they must awaken the dead god Mothra, and Jia alone is capable of doing so since he is an ancient Iwi from the vanished tribe, which is why the ceremony is being prepared. Godzilla moves to locations with superior radiation and plasma in the interim so that it can absorb all the power. The Iwi Tribe is assisting Kong in getting here quickly because they both need him. As a result, they create a gateway through which an injured Kong and his new companion pass. Additionally, the spectator learns about the gateway and tells his Scar King about it. He is enraged and headed to battle Kong on his cherished Shimo. Kong, on the other hand, is severely hurt and tells Jia about it. Godzilla's power has increased to the point where his excessive radio absorption causes pink splinters on his back. In order to treat Kong's wounded hand, Andrew's team plans to undertake an augmentation. They spent years preparing it for this trying moment, and he covered Kong's real hand with the electronic one. With it, he feels even more powerful and is prepared to battle the Scar King, but in order to get to Egypt on Earth's surface, he must first summon Godzilla. He calls out to Godzilla with a loud roar, and Godzilla screams back at the same frequency. As a result, Godzilla uses his enormous paws to smash public areas and make his way to the Egyptian pyramids. The Iwi tribes arrive at their hallowed location for the ceremony. Jia reaches up to touch the imaginary sheet that covers Mothra's bed. The goddess of the Titans is now awake after she transfers her energy. When the tribe shuts the portal, Mothra and Jia are able to travel to the Earth's surface, where Kong is engaged in combat with Godzilla. Godzilla continues to strike humans despite Kong's attempts to warn them of the Scar King's wrath. Kong takes several hard hits, but suddenly his electric throws start to sprout his head. Even when he tries to reel, Kong keeps going until Mothra intervenes and breaks up the battle. She alerts us to the impending threat. The Iwi tribe is going to add crimson liquid to the magical fluid in order to seal the doorway for the Scar King. The stones soar to great heights in order to form a shield, but Scar King destroys everything. He destroys the portal with a freezing strike. Scar King advances to battle the Iwi tribe, but the Andrews team diverts his attention by introducing hundreds of veterans to the battlefield. Scar King also brought a portal for flight, but fortunately, they were spared. Meanwhile, Godzilla and Kong rush in and engage the scribbling King Scar in an exciting battle. Because Godzilla can battle Shimo back and Kong is now even more strong, defeating Scar King is enjoyable. Within the portal, they pursue one another and retaliate with lightning-fast blows. Baby monkeys also assist in the fight against Scar King, and Kong regains his axe when their weapons thrillingly touch each other with tremendous energies. Godzilla fends off the icy beast until Mothra tries to assist him in escaping the icy tempests. Here, gravity abruptly disappears, allowing them to fall through the portals. When they all arrive on Earth, they leave scars. King continues to want to be Earth's ruler. He permits his pet to absorb solar energy, causing the world to freeze once more. Godzilla interrupts and delivers some powerful blows to his face, breaking his teeth so that Kong could laugh at him. He wants to bring the ice storm back and somehow manages to ruin the beaches of Brazil. The thrilling battle between all the monsters tears apart the city. Godzilla uses the same lasers to block Shimo from using his ice strike to numb Kong's hand. Despite being trapped in the hollow earth, the infant monkey manages to return Kong's weapon to the Earth's surface. Kong is attempting to damage the weapon used by Scar King that has a sparkling diamond. Fortunately, the young monkey arrives on schedule and uses Kong's axe to smash it. Surprisingly, Scar King loses all strength, and Kong gives him a thorough beating. Now that he is free, Shimo is killed by his beloved pet's ice strike. When Kong eliminates him, the Earth returns to its original state. Jet is delighted to meet her folks and is told to live with her tribe. After all these years, Kong ascends to the throne and frees his people from the cruelties inflicted by the Scar King. Godzilla now has Shimo and the infant monkey as his spectators, and he finds a spot to sleep for another year.